Welcome to the Hook and Reel Kayak Fishing Show, brought to you by Classic City Kayak Anglers and Coyote Outfitters in Watkinsville, Georgia, with your hosts, Freddie Garza and David Smith.
Welcome back to the Hook and Reel Kayak Fishing Show, your home for all things kayak fishing in Georgia. Today we're going to highlight the new tournament season that is all kicking off, and we're also going to be interviewing Mr. Joshua Tatum and Charles Shelnut, the tournament directors for the new Georgia Kayak Fishing League. So with that, Freddie, get us started off with what's coming up in the tournament scene.
Sure. Actually, as y'all are watching this, we're a couple of days out from Georgia Kayak Fishing League's first event of the season out on Lake Sinclair. The weather's looking a little chilly for the morning, but hopefully the day is going to finish out nicely for those guys out there. Looks pretty exciting. An exciting event for the league to be kicking off. I'm glad the weather's going to somewhat cooperate. I think the weather patterns here recently have been very up and down, and to hit it kind of at a decent time, it should make for a good day out on the water. Another note: next weekend, Peach State kayak anglers will be kicking off their season down on Lake Seminole. And I was noticing the weather forecast for them. Looks like they're going to have a very nice season opener down on Lake Seminole as well. On the national level, we have Hobie BOS is going to be out on Watts Bar, Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend. So, look for all of these clubs and Hobie to put out information throughout the day as they get going. Georgia Kayak Fishing League, I'm sure, will share their leaderboard. So, if you guys have a chance, go onto their website or their Facebook page and follow along and see how everybody's doing throughout the day. Pretty excited. As David mentioned, we had an opportunity to sit down with Charles Shelnut and Joshua Tatum and, got to know a little bit more about the league and kind of what the vision is for it and what they're hoping to accomplish in their first year. And I think they had some great stuff to talk about. I think with any change, there comes a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty. And I think if any of you follow Facebook as I do, you've probably noticed some of those comments out there. But, rest assured, I think they're on to a good path, and, they have some good ideas of what they want to accomplish. And, with the support that they have, I think they'll do well this year. So looking forward to seeing their season come out, as well as Peach State. Peach State's got some great things. John and his board with their TOC program that they've got kicking off this year too. So a lot of exciting opportunities, and guys, check back with us as we're going to do our best, David and I, to make sure that we're getting the information out there to you guys regarding tournament results, upcoming tournaments, and so on. So that's about all I had for the tournament side, Dave.
Okay. All right, well, guys, with that, we'll jump right into our interview with Joshua Tatum and Charles Shelnut and get you guys some more information on the new Georgia Kayak Fishing League.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hook and Reel Kayak Fishing Show. This is our interviews portion of the show. Tonight I want to introduce you guys to Mr. Josh Tatum and Charles Shelnut. These two gentlemen are the tournament directors for the new Georgia Kayak Fishing League. And we want to introduce these guys to you and introduce you guys to the new league and what we're doing and the plans. And so anyway, with that, Josh, if you will, start us off, buddy. Give us a little bit of background on Josh Tatum and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. First thing I'm going to say is I appreciate y'all having me on and Charles on to talk about the group and everything. Really, really appreciate the time. For y'all that don't know me, my name is Josh Tatum. I've been fishing my whole life, kayak fishing probably the last 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years. Pretty much started off on the bank just like everybody else with one of their parents or whatever, and everything else just gone from there. I'm really, really happy to have found this kayak side of fishing. I mean, I really, really enjoy it. And plus it's cheaper than buying a boat. So
That it is.
Yep.
So Josh, tell us, I know you've been around a little bit. What are some of the other clubs that you fished with prior to coming on board with Georgia Kayak Fishing League?
So when I first got started, there was a small local club that did like North Georgia stuff. I think it was North Georgia Kayak Anglers or North Georgia Kayak Fishing or something like that. I think a guy named Dylan, he started that, and that was where I fished my first tournament. I fished a couple Peach State events over there with John Hummel. Really like those guys. So that's one thing I do want to shout out is that through this whole changeover and everything with leadership in Georgia Kayak Fishing League, a lot of the other tournament directors have been very, very supportive and helpful with information as far as, me being new and all that good stuff. But yeah, I fished Peach State, and then Georgia Kayak Fishing League came along, and they fished a lot of the waters that were pretty close to me, which is very appealing to me. And I started fishing with him, and that's really the only clubs I've been with ever since. So,
well, good deal. Yeah, it's interesting you're talking about a club that, I don't think I've quite heard of them. I think we've had a lot of clubs here in the state of Georgia that, I think everybody has good intentions when they start something. And, I think it's just such a battle to kind of find that niche and get everybody involved in new clubs and things like that. And, I'm sad to see some of them that do go away, but, I think it's just kind of the nature of the beast, so to speak. And, it's nice to hear, John Hummel was the same way with me when I started Classic City and we had tournaments. He was, very helpful, reached out to me and, gave some guidance on things that, he's been around a minute. So he's been, he's gone through those pitfalls, and that was something that he was willing to, to help out and say, hey, listen, I've been here, done that. This is something you may want to avoid, or this is something you may want to look at. So, I give him props for everything he does, and, all that he does to reach out to help new guys as well, new tournament directors. So definitely appreciate what he does and how he works diligently. And I think everybody does, that's why it's kind of sad to see some of the clubs that come out. And I think, they've all got good intentions, but, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I wish it would for everyone, but I think it's the nature of what we have here. And I'm excited for what you guys are taking on with Georgia Kayak Fishing League. And, I think of one thing that I'd like to step on a soapbox and talk about, and that's just the unity of the Georgia Kayak community as a whole. I don't think, what you guys are doing is anything that's trying to take away from anyone else. And, I think that's one thing that I'd like to see more of in our community is just the unity. So anyway, I'll jump off, but I wanted to say that. Charles, I know most people or a lot of people know you. You and I have been working together for a couple of years now, and, it's been some good stuff. So for those that don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into this and where you are now, and how you ended up tournament directing Georgia Kayak Fishing League?
Wow. Do you have like a couple hours? I mean, no, my name's Charles Shellnut, but a lot of the people that grew up with me know me as Ashley. So on Facebook, I'm Charles Ashley Shellnut. So to stipulate the two, kind of took over the Charles name. The older I got, the more I started doing business and things like that. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew I was a dude, but not that there's nothing wrong with the name Ashley. But anyway, I've been fishing, like Tatum said, as far as I can remember, man. I grew up in a house of fishermen, and my cousins and everybody that was pretty much I grew up with, had a rod in their hand. I grew up fishing from banks, crappie fishing, brim fishing with my dad, my brother. And then I grew from there. We got a John boat, did some John boat fishing, hit these local reservoirs, put a lot of fish in the boat. Had a couple father and son fishing tournaments back in the day. Me and Dad capitalized on those pretty good. got some of those guys right here. There's one there. We got one here for this father and son fishing tournament. We got another one right there. This father and son fishing tournament. This is actually the most variety of fish caught, so it wasn't just bass fishing.
Nice.
And I got one more I'll show you. This is actually the thing come off of it, so I had to write it down, but it was the actual first place prize, father and son. Them other ones are just different prizes, like big fish, things like that. But that was the first place prize, our first tournament win we've ever had together. We ended up hopping in bass boats and joined the bass boat scene for a while. And then we did some night tournaments with Po Boys Tournament Trail. And we ended up having a lot of second place finishes with them, and were able to finally capitalize on a win at Lake Oconee during the night tournament. And we put a really good bag there together. Really enjoyed fishing with Dad. The bass boat scene got really expensive. I still have my bass boat. Actually got two. I need to sell both of them, so if anybody's interested, give me a shout. But I moved out of the bass boat world, and one of my buddies gave me a shout about doing a kayak tournament with East Central back in 2018, and he gave me a call just out of the blue the day before the tournament, pretty much. He's like, "Hey man, I got a kayak. You wanna come fish a tournament at Charles Elliott? I heard you're pretty good down there. Won't you come?" And he's like, "I got everything you need. Just bring your tackle and your rod." So talked the wife into it, rolled down there, fished my first tournament with them, had a blast. It was a grind. I mean, I didn't catch but 7 fish all day, but the 5 I got was plenty good. I mean, it was a good quality fish. I think I had like 87 something inches. Ended up winning that tournament, got big fish. Turned around, went and bought myself a kayak. Then took it back in a couple days because I didn't like it. And turned around, went and bought me a Hobie, and I ain't looked back as far as that goes. I do have some other brands of kayaks that I really use other than the Hobie itself. I have a New Canoe Flint that I won from Westbrook last year for the Peach State event. That was really awesome of them for stepping in and taking care of us anglers there, because they were under a little bit of struggle there at the end, as far as the COVID and everything, and getting everything figured out and getting everything out. So Westbrook and Scott Butcher and all them guys really stepped up, and Parker come to the table with the New Canoe. So he got me a New Canoe Flint out in the garage, and I bought a suck board, Crescent Suck, from your man right there, David Smith, Cody. So I got a few kayaks out there, and I got a few boats. So I'm staying in the kayak myself. I mean, I love the kayak world. It really brought to light something that I didn't never know I was missing, and camaraderie and everything in this community is just overwhelming. I mean, really didn't have. I mean, you always have really good fishing buddies, and a lot of people you meet during the fishing world, but the kayak industry is just a little bit different than the bass boat world. I ain't being a stickler to either one, because I still will hop in a boat in a heartbeat. But that's about it for me. I mean, I fished Classic City. We started Classic City, rolled with Classic City, and then we're trying to start this new adventure here with the league that looks just totally awesome to me. I mean, a lot of people are just going to have to wait to see how this, the growth in this way that we're actually targeting what we're doing. We're trying to make it a little bit more of in between your club tournaments and your national scale, kind of allowing people to take that next step and slowly work their way into it, or just keep that practice level going, allowing motors and allowing things to stay with that national type organization and everything. So we're just trying to, stay to the future, basically.
Right. Yeah, and I've told people, and I've said it here on the show. I'm a Facebook troll, so I keep a heartbeat on a lot of the different fishing pages, and I've noticed some comments and things like that. But I think I'd like to see people give you guys an opportunity to to get through the season and kind of show something that's it's unique. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that things are a lot different. I think from the face value standpoint, from the beginning, it may seem completely different and not really, understanding the true vision of what you guys are trying to set forth. I think, there's a lot of great trails out there. Let's talk about Peach State. If anyone who knows anything about the community, is one of the largest, if not the largest, trail out there right now. And, that's a sediment to them and, all of their hard work and what they put into it. And it really kind of caters to just about everybody. I think John, the way he's got that set up is that from beginner to a veteran kayaker is very comfortable in that league. And, I think what you guys at Georgia Kayak Fishing League are kind of gearing towards is just that outside of the box, like you said, Charles, that in between the grassroots. But let's face it, Georgia Kayak Fishing League is grassroots. So grassroots to national, and it just gives that little step. It's kind of like a baby step. You start somewhere that you feel comfortable with, and put in whatever financial, whatever your financial abilities are. That's kind of where you start. And it seems like Georgia Kayak Fishing League is right there, just outside. It may be a little bit more to kind of get involved, but at the same time, it's almost as if y'all are targeting that type of angler that's looking to invest in themselves, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I think that's a great thing, and I hope to see more people kind of getting to know how the league's going to work. And yeah, I think with anything, something different is always going to bring some negativity, but I don't feel like it's a bad negativity. I think it sounds like you guys are really taking into consideration what everybody's saying and, making some adjustments. And I think that's the biggest thing for the community, just to allow you guys to make the adjustments as necessary. And as you guys get kind of progress through the season, I'm anxious to see, everything going up. I was, very happy for you guys and how everything was, kind of up in the air. Let's face it. I think a lot of people that might be watching this realize that there was a changing of the of leadership just because of how things happen. And yeah, I think with Daniel, he had a lot of great intentions, and he just decided that he needed to make a decision, and that's what that was. And it was amazing to see the support of y'all and understanding, and having you guys step up and kind of taking what he had started and finishing it out. So I'm excited to see what's ahead for sure. With that, David, do you have any questions before we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of, I'd like to give them an opportunity to really kind of dive down deep and give some description about the league and how to get involved.
No, not really, because the questions I have, are not the questions necessarily, but I think what everybody wants to hear is the meat and potatoes of it, So, it's Freddie mentioned, it is the same in a lot of ways, but then again, a lot of new ideas and new directions with this, and that was one of the things that I was excited about as Coyote Outfitters from the very beginning. Is I wanted to be involved with something new and something different, and see how things would work. I was really excited about it when we first started talking about it, looking at it. I really wanted to jump on board and help out because I wanted to see Georgia Kayak Fishing League be successful. So, with that, I just want to talk more about the meat and potatoes of it. What makes it different? Why is Georgia Kayak Fishing League special? Why is it going to be different? And, but then again, the same as well. So I think that's what answering the questions that a lot of people might would have. So, either one of you guys, I guess, Josh, if you want to just start off and just give us a breakdown of what Georgia Kayak Fishing League is and how it's going to operate. And I know we got a tournament coming up this weekend on Lake Sinclair, so kind of go through everything real quick so we can catch everybody up and let everybody know, where they need to be for Saturday.
Yeah, that's like I said, as far as Georgia Kayak Fishing League goes, I mean, really the one way that I can explain it is, I mean, if you think of, you have your individual clubs throughout the state, and I think of it as kind of like that umbrella and how things kind of trickle down. So, or like a chart, and at the very top of that chart, you've got Georgia Kayak Fishing League, and then it branches down into the particular clubs that will fish under the league, but still have their individual club, club pride, or however you want to put it. If you want to say that, you're proud to say I fished with Classic City, or I'm proud that I fish with North Georgia Kayak Anglers, but we're all in the same league as far as that goes. And when I first heard, excuse me, when I first heard about this concept, I was like, that's something that's, like you said, that's different, that's never really been looked at as far as my knowledge goes in the state of Georgia. And I was really, really impressed with it. As a competitor, as an angler. Now, I'm not going to say I'm the hardcore competitor or anything like that. But as far as being a competitor and seeing something different trying to be made, I was very, very intrigued by that. And then when I was asked to step up and kind of fill the shoes of Daniel Smith, I had like this mixed feeling of kind of being scared, but also being optimistic at the same time. But like I said, I'm really ecstatic to be where I'm at right now, and definitely looking forward to the future. As far as this weekend goes, yes, Sinclair Saturday, the 20th. That's our first event, and we've already got a pretty good roster lined up so far. I mean, it's not even payday yet, so.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I was looking down at just now to kind of see where everything stood. And right now being Tuesday, the league's sitting at 18 anglers already signed up. So, I mean, for what y'all have had to do to kind of get it here with the sudden change of leadership and stuff. I mean, it's been, I have to give my hat comes off to both of you guys. Y'all have worked y'all's tails off here these last few days, and it's been very impressive. And I know the sponsors are taking note of that as well. So hats off to y'all for what y'all have done. And I mean, that's just the beginning and the first tournament. So I'm anxious to see what you guys do for the rest of the season, and everybody else should as well. Well, Charles,
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely before Charles takes over, I do want to say this has been interacting with the Georgia Kayak Fishing League board has been one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. How you've got all these people that just barely know each other. I mean, I've met Charles once, at a tournament last year, and it was just just a super nice guy, and we talked for a little bit, and then we went out and fished against each other. And like I said, it's just the way that we mesh as a board is second to none in my opinion. And I myself, it's taken a big weight off of me taking this position to know that I've got them having my back, and how we double check everything with each other, and we ask the board to make sure everything's okay before we post something or anything like that. So like I said, I want to throw that out there and say that I'm super, super happy to have the team that we have.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Charles, you tell us a little bit about how you ended up where you are and you what are your thoughts of the league and what you guys are wanting to accomplish this year?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that I really love this kayak community, and we're here for y'all. We're not here for ourselves. This is like you said, it's not just 2 men or 3 men or 4 men trying to run this deal. It's a whole board of people, and everybody has their own roles. And it takes some time establishing all that, and time establishing exactly what everybody really is anticipating. I know we had a little error when our first stuff popped out, and we were quick to fix on that. I kind of picked up on it myself, but I didn't really say anything. I wanted to do the math first and kind of help get it out there. So me and Greg really hopped on that and then presented it, to you guys, and had that double check to make sure everything was going to work out with that. But basically what got me here is, well, first of all, it's the love of kayak fishing itself. But, I've been working with Freddie for about 2 years now. So kind of where he goes is kind of where I've been going. And, he had reached out to Daniel about starting up a club because he had the kind of the same visions that we had anticipated for the kind of what we wanted to do here in Georgia. Not trying to take anything away from anyone by no means. I mean, I fish with everybody, man. You know that. I don't undermine anybody. I try to show up with support for anybody that's around, any club that's around, any national trail that's going to come around. I'm going to try to show that, show up and be there. So, what got me here is basically the love, the love of the sport, the love of the individuals out there, the future, what I'd like to see, I just thought this format was, something that would grow unity in the state of Georgia. So I was really interested in the unity. Like he said, you got the league up top where you bring your club and you come fishing. You know what I'm saying? This is for everybody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned and scratched some of the conversations that Daniel Smith and I had from very beginning of this, and it's always been about unity and not any type of not any type of division. That was one thing that was constantly said, was that division will not be accepted in anything that was going to be done with Georgia Kayak Fishing League. And I'm glad to see you guys kind of carrying that. And that's the thing. I think so many people in the state of Georgia, we've got a ton of anglers, but we've always lacked, I shouldn't say lack, but we've always fallen short on numbers. And when I say that, I mean like the culmination of the numbers. And, Peach State does a really good job. They've got really decent numbers, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, there's still a lot more anglers out there that can be captured in any given tournament. And it's not anything that Peach State's doing incorrectly. It really boils down to regionalizing everything. And with Georgia Kayak Fishing League, that was kind of the concept, or the whole premise behind what we were trying to accomplish, was that we had, a lot of people here, Classic City, East Central, a lot of really small numbered clubs, but loyal followers. And it wasn't amounting to what I think each tournament director for those clubs that I just mentioned, it wasn't amounting to what they wanted. They wanted a little bit more, and the only reason they wanted more was to be able to provide, better payouts to the people that were coming out, or the anglers that were coming out to participate with the events and things like that. So, I think it was 2018, Charles, when we all, I say Charles, but I mean all of you guys listening right now, 2018 was when we kind of had an explosion in Georgia. I mean, every club that was going to come out had come out in 2018. I know we Classic City had announced in November of 2018. We held our first trail in 2019. And at the same time, there were so many other trails and clubs that were out there. And, we talked about it earlier, that some of them, aren't around. And I think there are some clubs that, might not be around in 2 more years. And I think it's something that is very important in what y'all are doing in creating that unity and that platform to kind of resurrect some of these clubs. And I'll be honest, Classic City will be one of them. The only reason you'll see Classic City around is going to be because we are a part of the Georgia Kayak Fishing League. But what it does is it creates, the people who are loyal to Classic City, an opportunity to go and meet people from East Central, North Georgia kayak anglers and things like that. So to me, that's a huge plus, on top of hopefully, you guys building the numbers and getting those payouts out there. And I do want to start with that, because I think that was one of the things you had mentioned about a hiccup in the payouts. I think the intent of what you guys and the board was talking about for Georgia Kayak Fishing League as far as the payouts was to not take away from the lower placings, but rather to build the pot for those who did place. And I don't think that was a bad thing. Again, you make adjustments as based off of what you hear from people and what they want, or anglers and what they want. But the intent wasn't, the original intent wasn't bad. Some tweaks needed to be made, and you guys made the adjustments, and here we are. But I just wanted everybody to know that when it started, it wasn't about, hey, you win or you lose and you walk home with nothing, but it is still not going to be similar to what we're all used to. And I think, like I said earlier too, change sometimes creates fear, and fear just kind of creates some difficult discussions and having to explain why you wanted to do something. So, but with that, why don't one of you jump on here? How does someone, I know you guys are doing a really good job of getting information out there to get involved, but how would somebody just finding Georgia Kayak Fishing League, how do you get involved?
Charles, I think if you're okay with it, I'll take this one.
Go ahead.
I mean, so pretty much Georgia Kayak Fishing League, like all the other clubs in the state, we do kind of run most of our stuff off of Facebook. So you can find us if you go to your Facebook and search Georgia Kayak Fishing League. You'll find a sort of like a web page, but then you also find a league group page. And that group page will have pretty much all the information that you need to know, whether it's in the files or in the posts that we make. As of right now, we're making posts daily about information about, I know Charles has been really, really good about posting about, local tackle shops around Lake Sinclair, giving them some love, and maybe by getting some little bit of extra info on what's going to happen that weekend. But then also, and that's why we're here too, because if you're a new angler wanting to get into tournament fishing, or a new angler to Georgia Kayak Fishing League, you can find everything you need to know about the league on our Facebook page. You can send us a message, send me a message, Charles, anybody on the board, and we'll be super glad to help you out. But pretty much you can go to the Facebook page, go to the events tab, and it'll have an updated event layout of all of our tournaments throughout the year. All of our tournaments this year are going to be ran through the TourneyX app platform, and we're doing that to simplicize, or would make it a whole lot simpler as far as judging goes, and keeping everything easy for our judges to go in and look at. But like I said, I mean, everything that you need to know is on our Facebook page. You can go on there and ask questions, and I know I can only speak for myself, but I know, like, even when I'm working, I'm trying to be as super fast as I can to get back to people, as far as people that have questions or need information or anything like that. As far as our rules go, I'm usually super fast about getting answers for people that have questions.
Gotcha. So as far as membership fees, what are the anglers looking at to get started with Georgia Kayak Fishing League?
So to get started with us, you're looking at an annual membership fee of $20. And what that does is that covers you to fish every one of our events for that year. That can be paid through PayPal, sent to our email, which is all this is in one line. Contact GAKFL@gmail.com. That's the email address for the league for PayPal. You pay that $20 entry fee or the $20 membership dues, and that covers you for the entire year. When you pay that, 10 of that goes back to the league for membership packages and operating expenses if needed, and then the other $10 of it goes into our championship pot. After that point, you would need to go into our file page, the little file tab on the Facebook group, and look at the rules, go over them, read through them so that you know what's expected of you. And then also our waiver is in there also. And you can download that waiver. I usually sign mine on my phone, but some people print it out, sign it, and snap a picture of it and email it into that same email. After you do that, your only next step is to register for your events, and everything registering for the events, paying your entry fee is done through Tourney X.
Gotcha. Well, that all sounds good. So basically, you need any information, we need to head on over to that Facebook page and take it off of there. If you don't mind. So the one other thing that's unique, tell us a little bit about that GAKFL championship real quick.
Okay. All right. So I know with other clubs that have had around the state, they usually, I think in previous years, they've had a kind of like a statewide championship where all the clubs come together and their qualifying anglers get together and fish one big event. And I think this year was something to where each individual clubs are kind of doing their own little championship on their own for this year. And one thing that we wanted to do at Georgia Kayak Fishing League was have a championship to where the people that qualified for it through our league, had a great opportunity to not only come home with some big money, but also leave with some good prizes and good prize packs. And really pretty much one of the number one things about this is that as far as I'm concerned, and I've never heard of it being done this way, but we're going to be doing a no entry fee championship event. And that is something that I've not seen done as far as the state of Georgia. I can't vouch for other states, but it's definitely something that I think is needed in the state and something that people have been looking for a long, long time.
Right. And, let everybody know kind of how are you guys, how's GAKFL going to get to that point of a no entry fee championship?
So pretty much.
You mentioned the dues, but what other contributor is there that's going to put into that pot for the championship?
Right. Yeah. So of course, like I said, $10 of every membership fee that is brought in goes to that pot. And then also all the events that we have up until the championship are going to be a 90% payout, which basically 90% of that goes back to the anglers that place, and then 10% of that payout will also go to the championship pot. And then we've got a buku of sponsors right now we'll probably get into later, that we have prize packs for and gift cards and stuff like that. So
well, sounds good. Well, I'm excited to see the season get kicked off here on Sinclair this weekend, and it's exciting stuff. So glad I appreciate you guys taking the time and coming on here. We are kind of almost at our limit, but I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk about some of your sponsors real quick, and or any other shout outs you guys might want to put out there.
Go ahead, Charles, throw some out.
I'll chime in. I've got first sponsor would be DBK. This is my original sponsor out the gate. When I first wanted to do this, I reached out to Brian, which is a good friend down the street that makes a lot of custom lures here in Loganville. He also builds rods as well, and does a lot of boat lighting about anything when it comes to the fishing industry itself. Just about, he don't make T-shirts or anything, but he makes lures, he paints lures, he repaints lures. He's a phenomenal rod maker. He'll put lights on your boats, rig your boat up for you, repair rods, maintenance your reels. So give DBK here in Loganville a shout. It's DBK Custom Lures. I want to give a shout out to Coyote, because Cody's always been here and a really big sponsor as far as Classic City Kayak Anglers go, and Georgia Kayak Fishing League here, and Westbrook as well. Westbrook's always been a really good friend of all of us. They spread a lot of love here in the state of Georgia. Really good guy. They're over there, Fletch Griffin's cool, really super cool dude. Big Bear Rods, give a shout out to those guys. They've been here since Classic City started. So he's a really good dude, and he'll take care of you as far as building you some rods as well. His customer service is really good too. So give him a shout and reach out to him. Give all of them a try. Heck, you don't never know what you're gonna love and fall in love with. So, but Fish North Georgia, Danny over there, he's excellent dude. Very talkative. Keeps everybody smiling, laughing. Do a lot of cutting up. But he has a store up there in North Georgia, and an online store that sells a bunch of basically tackle and supports the people here in Georgia. He has a lot of custom tackle up there. So give Danny a shout if you're interested in a lot of custom baits, and they make baits as well. So Fish Head, great sponsor there. I've caught tons of fish on a fish head spin. Really excited about the new hammer line of shaky head type baits they have. They got one little guy now that's got a little spinner on it, like an underspin. Just got a little spinner on your shaky head. So that's been pretty unique for me to play with here in the wintertime. Getting these deeper fish to react on things can be tough. So that little hammer, I think it's called a hammerhead, flash hammerhead or something like that. But that bait right there is going to be a little something different that a lot of people might mess with. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but I'm sure I am. It happens. Maybe Tatum could fill the gap there.
I mean, as far as I can tell, you really pretty much hit the nail on the head. I did want to go ahead and announce that we did land one more sponsor today that I talked to, and that's Steve over at Sugar Hill Baits. He is going to put a bunch of lure packets together for me and ship them out to me that we can use as raffle prizes, door prizes, and or prize packs for place payouts. So I really appreciate Sugar Hill Baits for stepping up and doing that, and hopefully I really look forward to being with all of our sponsors, and definitely looking forward to having a great year. I mean, I definitely have a feeling this is going to be one of the best years that I've ever had as far as kayak fishing and being in the industry. I'm really excited.
The involvement, yep.
Yeah.
Definitely with the involvement, yep. I got one little plug to spit out there. It's a realtor here local. If you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, or anything here in Walton County or in the near area, Classic City area, reach out to the Prince Group. Casey Prince and her mom runs a fabulous group of realtor group over there, and she was the realtor of the year last year, and I'm sure she's going to do it again this year. She's just amazing seller. So reach out to her. They're part of the Keller Williams group, but they are it's basically a they're partners with Keller Williams, but they're their own group. So it's the Prince Realtor Group. Phenomenal folks, and I grew up with all of them. So definitely take care of you. That's about all I have.
Well, sounds good. Well, David, did you have any closing remarks?
I'll just say, as Coyote Outfitters guys, that I'm excited to be involved with this. I know that there's been a lot of hard work put into this over the this last week especially, but it's been going on now for a little while. Try to put this together, something unique, something interesting, something different, for the kayak anglers in Georgia, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I'm proud of you guys, because I know how hard you guys have worked to put this together. And I look forward to being involved with it. I look forward to seeing it grow. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys out, and I know I speak for the other sponsors. I'll throw Fletch out there. I talk to Fletch a lot, and I'm happy to be involved with the other sponsors that are on board, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do. I'm excited about it. I was glad to see Charles mention Big Ed. If you got any questions about fishing Lake Sinclair, stop and see Big Ed. Tell him I said hey, and I can promise you he will tell you what they're biting. Even if he has to make it up, he'll tell you what they're biting. So anyway, guys, again, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for what you're doing. As Josh mentioned earlier, if you got any questions, check out the Facebook page, the Georgia Kayak Fishing League Facebook page. Excuse me. There, as he said, there's also a members page. But I'm sure Josh or Charles or anybody else involved will be glad to answer any specific questions if you reach out. It's not too late to get involved, guys. If you haven't done it yet, it's not too late. So jump on board. Try something different this year. As I said, it's going to be exciting, and look forward to watching you guys pull this off, and look forward to being involved. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, David.
You just reminded me of one thing. So, Josh, just to reiterate, it's 5 tournaments that you have to be involved in to qualify for the or for the championship, correct? You have to fish
Yeah.
five tournaments with you guys. Okay, just wanted to put that out there. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time. Definitely looking forward to, like David said, I'm looking forward to it as well. I think it's exciting stuff, and looking forward to watching y'all's member list grow. It was amazing how quickly it's jumped up to, I believe last I checked, it was like 34. So congrats on that. And I'm glad to see people getting involved and believing in what you guys are throwing out there. So best of luck, and I'll be right there with you. Like David said, if there's anything I can ever do, I'm only a phone call away. So, appreciate y'all coming on, and I'm sure we'll have you guys on again soon.
Excited.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you.
Take care.
Well, guys, that was our interview with the new tournament directors for the Georgia Kayak Fishing League. I hope you guys were able to get some good information there. If you got any questions, I'm sure you can reach out to them. And, as I said, the tournament's coming up here this weekend on Lake Sinclair. We're looking forward to a good start with Georgia Kayak Fishing League, and we're excited to see where things go with that. So,
right.
Freddie, you got anything else you want to answer?
No, just to kind of piggyback that. Like the guy said in the interview, all of the information that they're going to be putting out there for everyone can be located there on their Facebook page, from registration to event information. Sounds like they're all going to have that. I've been kind of keeping tabs on them here since the weekend, and that Facebook page has been pretty busy. So, guys, if you have any questions, I'm sure you can reach out to either Josh Tatum or Charles Shelnut, and they'll get you taken care of as soon as possible. Other than that, we look forward to the season and getting kicked off. We look forward to also, having a little less of an issue with COVID this year, but we're just going to have to see how the season pans out. So, as David and I will, and when we ask you guys to do the same, let's be patient with our tournament directors out there. I know, Peach State, real crazy. Everyone involved in the Georgia Kayak community is going to do their best to make sure that, they're adhering to the latest COVID protocols and keeping you guys safe. And, my only thing is I ask, let's all be patient with them and kind of help them along if things have to, if they have to do some ducking and diving this year. Again, I think everybody did a great job last year in making the season happen. So there's no doubt that they'll do the same this year. So other than that, that's all I had.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Look forward to seeing you. The show will be on Thursday night, and we'll be back 2 weeks later for our next episode of the Hook and Reel Kayak Fishing Show. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.